Hi guys, welcome back to As Told by Ray. I'm Teray, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're not, hey y'all. So today's video is for my mamianas, and this video is going to be on how to sleep train your baby. I'm going to tell you how I got Harper to sleep. Harper literally goes to sleep and sleeps damn near 12 hours every single day. No fuss, no nothing. She tells you when she's ready to go to bed. Literally, and we've been doing it, and she's been sleeping about 12 hours a day since she was about 3 months old. So I'm going to tell you guys how I did that and how to kind of start the sleep training process if you haven't already and you are ready to kind of separate and be able to actually go to sleep yourself and teach your baby how to sleep alone by themselves. So yeah, keep on watching. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, sleep training is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's teaching your baby how to go to sleep independently of you. That means you're not rocking your baby to sleep, you're not holding your baby to sleep, you're not sitting next to them waiting for them to fall asleep to get up and go do whatever it is that you need to do. You are literally teaching your baby how to go to sleep. It sounds very simple, but oftentimes as moms, it's easier for us to just keep the baby with us. You know, you kind of go through that phase where you're like, if I put them in their own room, what if they start breathing? And what if this happens? And what if this happens? You kind of just drive yourself crazy with all these crazy what if scenarios that are damn near likely not to happen to you. So we just kind of make this up in our mind, and then it hinders us when we actually have to go and get things done. When I was home on maternity leave, I was home on maternity leave for 10 weeks with Harper. She didn't sleep. She slept, but she didn't sleep without me. In order for her to take a nap during the day, I had to be right next to her, which was fine. Sleeping, cool. We're going to take a 3-hour nap. Awesome. I'm going to lay right here and take a nap next to you. But when we go to sleep at night, it would be harder. It would be hard for me to stop and go and take a shower because she would wake up. I would try to put her down. I would rock her to sleep, put her in her chair, try to go take a shower, and literally by the time I took a 10-minute shower, she was awake. Even though before I got in the shower, she was dead asleep. And I found out that that's because moms and babies are in sync with each other. Now, we didn't co-sleep. Harper did not sleep in our bed. She's only slept in our bed probably 3 times in her entire life. That's just, I just didn't want her in our bed, but she slept right next to me in her little rock and play chair. She literally slept right next to me. So because we slept so close to each other, moms and babies become in sync with one another. So you guys get on the same breathing pattern. So I would notice that I would wake up before she would actually wake up, whether it's in the middle of the night or in the morning or anything like that. I will wake up because her breathing pattern would change, and it would cause me to wake up. And usually about like 15 minutes later, she'd be up and ready to eat. But that was causing me to wake up out of my sleep, interrupt my sleep, and now I will wake up in the morning and just be dead ass tired. I couldn't do it. By the time I was getting ready to go back to work, I was just like, okay, something's gotta freaking change, because you've got to go to sleep and be able to sleep all night. Because going to bed at 12:30 is not working for me, kid. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. We can't be doing this no more. We got to get on a routine. We got to get on a schedule. And prior to this, I had never heard of sleep training ever in my damn life. But my good friend Brittany told me about sleep training, and I kind of looked it up on YouTube, looked it up on some mom groups on Facebook, and kind of figured out what people were saying about it. And it was just like, oh, teaching your baby how to go to sleep. That makes sense. You teach your baby how to do everything else. Teach them how to eat, teach them how to use the bathroom. You got to teach them how to walk, teach them how to crawl. Duh, I got to teach you how to go to sleep. You don't just wake up and just like, I'm going to just lay down and go to sleep as a baby. No, they cry, they want comfort, and then eventually they will settle down and go to sleep. So The first thing that I had to do was to get my mind right. If you are not in the frame of mind to start sleep training and fully commit to it, it's not going to work for you. Your baby's going to get used to, okay, if I do X, Y, and Z for however long, they're going to come back and I'm going to get what I want anyway. So for me, the kick in the ass was I have to go back to work and we have to get some sleep. We can't sleep in the middle of the day for 4 hours a day. We can't do this. I can't just take these random ass naps with you. I have to work and I have to stay fully awake all day. So that was what I started. I started literally the week before I had to go back to work. We started on a Sunday. I put her in the bed. Well, let's back up. From the videos that I've watched in the different mom groups that I've gotten advice from on Facebook, it seems to be you want to establish a routine, and that actually works. So for us, our routine is we have dinner, we take a bath, read a story, get our pajamas on, and then we go to bed. That is the routine. We have been doing the routine since she was 8 weeks old, and she's going to be 17 months in a few weeks. And actually, no, she's gonna be 18 months. That's so bad. I'm already don't know how old my kid is. She's gonna be 18 months in a couple weeks, and we've been doing the same routine every day since the day we started sleep training. So once you start that and get your routine, start putting your child in the bed. We put her in her crib. She has her own room, and we have a white noise machine. Really, the white noise is not really to help her go to sleep. It's so that she doesn't hear what's going on, because we don't stay quiet. Our house is very loud. My fiance plays 2K and he gets very, very, very loud. Like, you can hear him through the whole house, kind of loud. So that she could sleep peacefully, I just put the white noise so she can't really hear what's going on outside of her room. That's pretty much it. But she can sleep without white noise. I just thought I would add that in there. It's not really a crutch that she needs the noise to go to sleep. So started putting her in the bed. The first day, she cried and cried and cried and cried. I never heard her cry like that in my life. She probably cried for 45 minutes straight. Now, when you're sleep training, you can choose to go and check on your baby. I decided to do the cry it out method. I'm going to put you in the bed and I'm going to shut the door and I'm going to walk away. I had the baby monitor with me. I turned the sound volume all the way down, because if I kept hearing her crying on the monitor, I was going to go upstairs and just take her out of bed and hold her until she fell asleep. But that's not what I wanted to do. So just put the monitor on silent. We watched, I don't even know what we watched on TV, and we just let her cry. By the time we finished our hour TV show, she was silent. Checked on the monitor. Oh, she's sleeping. Cool. She woke up probably about 1:30 in the morning, and we put her in the bed at 7 p.m. About 1:30 in the morning, she woke up. I fed her, put her right back to sleep. Now, this is the time that becomes the most important. When you go in to feed your baby, you can either do one or two things. Don't play with them and like get them all worked up and kiss all over them. No, you are in there to do a job. You are here to feed them and put them back to sleep. So some people like to go ahead and just change their diaper so they can have a fresh, dry diaper. Or some people just like to not change the diaper at all, feed them, put them right back in the bed. I did kind of a combination of the two. Like if her diaper was overly full, I would just change it really quick and then feed her and put her back in the bed. Sometimes that changing them and the cold wipe on their skin kind of like wakes them up, and they're like, oh God, not time to go to sleep, now it's time to be awake. So you can just decide if you don't want to do that. I don't have a white warmer, so it's like we're going to do this real quick, throw the diaper on, feed, go to sleep. That was our routine. And then we did that every day for, I would say about 2 weeks. Every day for 2 weeks. And every single day, she would cry less and less and less. I think by the last day, probably the middle of the second week, she cried for 5 minutes and was out like a light. And then after that, We would put her in the bed, she wouldn't make a noise. She would just naturally be ready to go to sleep. And I think that's because we created a routine. Now she's used to, okay, when I have my dinner, I'm gonna go take a bath, I'm gonna get a story, we're gonna put our lotion and our pajamas on, and then, oh, now I'm tired. So that routine is everything for us. We don't skip the routine to this day. It's just like we're naturally on a routine, but it also helps with her. Another thing that people like to do is dream feed. And a dream feed, if you don't know, it's when you feed your baby while they're sleeping. Babies will naturally smell the mother's milk and latch on and feed. Harper didn't do that. I tried it maybe once or twice and she was just not waking up. She didn't want to eat. So I just left her there and I stopped doing that. Unless she woke up, I didn't go in the room and interrupt her sleep. And we've been doing it like this. I will say by the time she was 3 months old, she was literally sleeping the entire night. We put her in the bed at 7 and I will wake her up in the morning for school about 6:30, 6:45. So she was sleeping that entire block, not waking up to feed anymore, not even like crying when when it was time to be put in the bed. None of that. She really just goes to sleep. Now for everyone, it's not going to be that easy to sleep train your baby. Some babies go through what's called a 4-month regression. Usually around 4 months, they start learning new skills. They try to start rolling over at that point, and then they'll be in their bed and they'll just kind of start rolling over and kind of regress a little bit in their sleep because they're a little bit more active at that point. Harper didn't really go through that. I was like waiting and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna go through this regression and she's not gonna sleep and I'm not gonna sleep. And she didn't really go through that. She kind of just slept throughout the night. She would have a couple nights where she would just kind of wake up and I would just kind of sit and just kind of wait and see what happened. If she would like full blown like be awake, then I would go and tend to her. But if she was just making a couple noises and then rolling over and going back to sleep, I just let her stay there because she never gave me the indication that, okay, I'm hungry or I'm ready to wake up. So you can try to do that if they're going through that regression. Kind of wait and see what they start doing. If they're just rolling around in their bed, I mean, they'll go back to sleep. But when you do get to that point where they're actually starting to roll over and they can roll from the back on their stomachs, if you are swaddling your child, it's time to take the swaddle off. I never swaddled Harper because I never learned how to tie a swaddle. So that's just why I never did it. But we didn't have to go through that phase. She just kind of went to sleep. I will say that sometimes I feel like swaddling is good because it helps with that jump reflex that babies have. You know, if like a baby's laying on their back, they just kind of jump out of nowhere like they're falling. I think maybe swaddling kind of helps with that. They know that they're tight and they're secure. I didn't do that, and Harper would like flip out and just like scare herself half to death while she was sleeping. So once she learned how to roll over, that stopped, and she's been a tummy sleeper ever since. Another question that I've gotten about sleep training is when I tell people that Harper sleeps on her stomach, is people always ask me about SIDS. For me, I know that SIDS exists. I know that it's real. I personally know people who have lost their children and that was the cause of death. SIDS is statistical. You can't control it. You really can't control it. Yes, there are things that you can do to avoid your baby suffocating, like not putting blankets in there, not keeping pillows and things like that in there that they can actually suffocate on, or those little like bumpers. But I wasn't like overly concerned about her sleeping on her stomach because the way I look at it is I can't sleep in here all night. I can't monitor her like a pancake and every time she flips over, go in, flip her back over. I would literally be up all night. Once she learned to roll over, she would roll over so fast by the time I shut the door, she literally had rolled over her stomach and been asleep. So I didn't really even put myself in a space to worry about that. If you are concerned about that, take the necessary precautions. Do not give your child a blanket. Do not keep stuffed animals in the bed. Do not have those little bumpers, even though they have like the mesh bumpers now that are breathable. Just don't put anything there that can in any sort of way cause any kind of suffocation hazard like that. But you can't really control SIDS. You don't know if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. You don't know anything, and it's one thing that unfortunately as a parent, as much control as we wish that we had, that's one thing that we just do not have control over. So no, I do not worry, did not ever worry about SIDS. Of course, now at 18 months, she has obviously outgrown that, and she sleeps fine. She sleeps with a blanket every day. I haven't had any issues with coming in her room and her blanket's over her face. If anything, I come in the room and she is like separated herself from the blanket. She just doesn't sleep with it. She doesn't sleep with any stuffed animals or anything like that. And she still sleeps. Now she can sleep like a full 12 hours. So I put her in the bed at 7. If I don't personally go and wake her up, she will sleep until about 7 a.m. Perfect 12 hours straight across. I think that sleep training is one of the best things that we ever did. It makes life a lot easier. You can actually be an adult once your baby goes to bed. You can... Nap time is over, so we're gonna wrap this video up. You can have a drink, you can watch adult TV, you can do so many different things when your baby is not attached to you and is more independent. And in order to start and successfully do it, it has to be something that you, as the parents, as the mom, that you are ready to do. If you're not ready for that separation, you know, when you get ready, there are so many videos, there's so many different tips on how to get this done. My tips are: establish a routine, stick to your routine, mentally be prepared for any crying or anything like that, and just fucking do it. Your baby will be happier, your baby will be more well rested, and you will be well rested as well. So if anyone has any questions about sleep training, any other things that I can help with, please leave me a comment below and I will be sure to answer it. And yeah, that's all I've got for today's video. So thank you guys for watching. Oh, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I know I didn't say that, but make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram, all that extra stuff that I should have said in the beginning that I didn't. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, ladies.